Dear students, today's topic for the class is effect of environment on health. So we'll try to understand how environment impacts our health. So environmental health is a top priority in the public health field as environmental factors continue to adversely affect individual and community health. So you can just have a look at some of the statistics given by WHO, that is the World Health Organization. So, as per the statistics by WHO, it is estimated that 13 million deaths annually are attributable to preventable environmental causes. Also, 24% of the global disease burden and 23% of all deaths, it is premature mortality, are attributable to environmental factors. So, these figures are quite alarming. So, from the quality of the air you breathe to the condition of the roads you drive on, environmental factors can have a major influence on your health. So, every thing in the environment does impact your health. So, now let us have a look at some 8 key environmental factors that affect our health. That is chemical safety, air pollution, climate change and natural disasters, diseases caused by microbes, lack of access to healthcare, infrastructure issues, poor water quality, and global environmental issues. So, the first one is chemical safety. So, different chemicals can impact human health in different ways, and often exposure to dangerous or foreign substances creates health vulnerabilities. So these chemicals include the chemicals that exist in the ambient world, as well as synthetic chemicals that are used in industrial processes or are the byproducts of manufacturing activity. So they can include the chemicals which are existing in the actual world, the natural world, also the synthetic chemicals or the chemicals that are produced by human activities like industrial production or any other manufacturing activity. So, some examples of these dangerous chemicals in the environment are heavy metals and toxins that find their way into the water supply, and harmful pesticides that make their way into the food supply chain. So, this is a very important, very critical area of public health. And as per the statistics by WHO, more than 1.6 million deaths, and this statistics pertains to the year 2016. So, 1.6 million deaths were due to exposure to selected chemicals. So, this is quite an important environmental factor which affects our health. So, the next important environmental factor is air pollution. So, we have already studied air pollution in detail, and you can also refer those notes once again for getting a more detailed understanding of the topic. But I'll just put it in brief here. So, studies have shown that air pollution effects on humans are at a significant public health concern, not only because of their role in climate change but also because exposure to air pollution can increase morbidity and mortality. So, morbidity is the number of people suffering from any diseases, and mortality is the number of deaths that occur in a particular period. So, the rate of morbidity would be the number of persons suffering from diseases in that particular area or in that particular year, and similarly, the rate of mortality would be the number of deaths in the particular year. So, air pollution does impact the rate of morbidity and rate of mortality. So, air pollution includes solid or liquid particles as well as gases that are suspended in the air and have harmful or poisonous effects. Examples of air pollution include car and truck exhaust as well as polluting byproducts of industrial processes. However, many natural air pollutants can also cause health concerns such as pollen and mold spores, which are often linked with asthma and allergies. So, of course, you can refer your air pollution notes and add something more to this also. According to the WHO, air pollution effects on humans are quite significant, and the figures given by WHO are that 29% of all global deaths occur from lung diseases, 24% of all global deaths are from stroke, and 17% of all global deaths and disease from disease from acute lower respiratory infection, which is a result of air pollution. So next important factor is climate change and natural disasters. Climate change disrupts the natural world in a number of ways that can impede health and increase vulnerability to disease. So these include increases in the planet's temperature and more frequent heavy rains. So the various impacts may result in greater vulnerability to nervous and respiratory diseases, diarrhea, and more. So, the National Environmental Health Association has listed climate change as the single biggest human health threat of the 21st century. So, climate change also increases the frequency of natural disasters, sometimes resulting in huge loss of life. That is, these natural disasters include wildfires, hurricanes, cyclones, and droughts. So this is also a very important factor. The fourth important factor is diseases caused by microbes. So microbes or microorganisms. So we have trillions of microbes or microorganisms which exist within our body, and they also live in water, soil, and air. So most of these have no negative health effects, and in fact, they also contribute to some of our. They also have some positive effects. Also, they contribute to our bodily functions also. However, there are some harmful microbes too, which are more commonly called as pathogens or germs, and these can infect humans and cause illnesses. So, eating is one of the primary ways in which humans can contract diseases caused by these microbes. One example is food poisoning from E. coli. E. coli is a type of bacteria which is found in the environment and in foods, and this can cause respiratory illness, urinary tract infections, and other adverse health effects. There are also a number of harmful microbes that live in the soil, and humans can come into contact with them by ingesting them, that is, eating them. Eating them, that is, through contaminated food, or through inhaling them through soil particles in the air. So, tetanus and botulism are examples of disease caused by soil borne disease microbes. So, this is the fourth factor, that is, diseases caused by microbes. The fifth factor is lack of access to healthcare. Some factors that contribute to lack of access to healthcare are economic instability, unreliable transportation to clinical facilities, and lack of education about the importance of preventive care. Individuals who don't have access to healthcare services are at a higher risk for chronic conditions, which may include asthma, cancer, diabetes, or heart disease. So, this is also a very important environmental factor, that is access to healthcare. And the sixth one is infrastructure issues, which is somewhat similar to the fifth environmental factor. And infrastructure issues can also have a major impact on community health. So, examples of infrastructure issues include poorly maintained roads, lack of access to clean drinking water, lack of local health care and lack of local healthcare infrastructure. So it is people with better infrastructure have better health, and those with low infrastructure, poor infrastructure, suffer from poor health. So overcoming poor infrastructure requires the right allocation of resources from local, state, and central governments, as well as qualified workforce to keep the infrastructure properly maintained. So the seventh important environmental factor is poor water quality. A number of factors can contribute to poor water quality, including industrial waste and pollution, lack of access to proper water treatment and sanitation services, and outdated plumbing infrastructure. So, you can also refer the notes on water pollution, which will help you write more elaborately on this point. So, I have just given in brief here, but if you want, you can please add some more points to this. And as per reports across the world, more than 780 million people don't have access to clean drinking water. So the eighth environmental factor is global environmental issues. These can include soil pollution, ultraviolet radiation, and biodiversity loss. According to data, more than 100 illnesses and injuries can be directly linked to environmental health concerns. Often, these issues have the greatest impact on communities that are poor and already have significant healthcare vulnerabilities. So, these are the eight important environmental factors which impact our health. So, it is very naturally it is very important. So, having a look at all these factors is very important in order to optimize our health. So, the benefits of optimizing environmental health. Maintaining a healthy environment is essential for helping people live longer and for enhancing their quality of life. By optimizing environmental health, communities can reduce exposure to disease as well as to pollutants that have a toxic effect on the body. The benefits of environmental health interventions can improve life for everyone. So, this covers in brief the impact of environment on health, and you can also refer some more material from the websites and add. Thank you.